What's up, family? How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of the Your One Reset Away podcast. Super excited to have you guys here with us for our Morant episode. Now, before we get into it, we want to thank all of the supporters. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Send this message out to as many people as possible, and also tag people in the posts that we put up and in the messaging behind this podcast episode as well, because we want to talk about the importance of resetting yourself after you lose some of your momentum. Now, without further ado, we're going to get right into the presentation for today. Ja Morant, we all know Ja, superstar guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja is an electrifying player. He's done some things in his short career that has entertained millions of people. On top of, Ja has made millions of dollars as well. And we all know that in any business, especially the entertainment business, which sports is a form of entertainment, it tends to attract the wrong type of people, and it attracts people who have ulterior motives. Also, being in a high earning position, sometimes it can go to your head, right? You can get a little bit egotistical, you can get a little bit reckless, much less disciplined than maybe what you normally would be if your funds or your finances were much lower. And it reduces the options and opportunities that you have when you have less money as well, which is the alternative. If you have more money, you tend to have more options and opportunity. And if you don't have the right people around you and the right mentality about the position that you've been blessed with, you can make more mistakes at a faster pace. We love Ja. Ja is doing some great things in the league. And this episode is nothing more than an open case study as to how Ja can now get reset. Tell him how that is Uncle Jay. Right? Show him how to get reset, show him how to get his momentum back, not only within the organization that he works for, which is the Memphis Grizzlies, but also in the community and in his social circle as well, right? Because make no mistake, Ja is still playing at a high level. Ja is still a high earning basketball player, but you have to understand what can happen if you don't make certain decisions and pivot at the right point in time in your life. You can lose unnecessary momentum, and all we're trying to do is get in front of some of those potential pitfalls with how things tend to go in the sports and entertainment business. So, boom, you want to reset away the power of being able to change. And listen, anybody can change, no matter where you start at, no matter what mistakes you made, no matter how good things are going for you. Things can always be better. If things are going bad for you, they can always be better. It doesn't matter, right? You always have the opportunity to change. The only thing is, are you willing to change, and are you willing to do the work required to change? Now, some people at times tend to think because things are going good that you don't need to change. I'm here to tell you that's the wrong mentality. Even though things are going good, you should always be willing to change to make good better, and make better best, and make best transition into great. Now, the identity reset, right? Now, this is the first section of the presentation that we believe will be an assistance to Ja Morant, the identity reset. Now, you know, Ja is good off the ball. Ja is good in ISO. Ja is good in the offense. At times, Ja can overexert himself on offense and don't get back on defense the way that he should. Many of us who watch the game and who understand the game can see these things. But when you're talking about transitioning your abilities off of the court and out of the workplace into your personal life, at times these identity conflicts can occur, right? And with Ja having so much access, having so many people around him, at times he may be challenged with what we consider an identity conflict and being in need of an identity reset. Even though you're young and you're playing basketball, which is generally recreation, or generally done for recreation, aside from the handful of people who can play professionally and collegiate and international ball, most people who play, they play for fun. But Ja is playing at the highest level. So because this is his life, he's actually working. So he's having fun while he's working. But you have to remember that while you're working, you have a certain code of conduct that has to be maintained and managed in order for you to remain in compliance with your employer. The NBA is a league. This is a corporation. The Memphis Grizzlies is a company, which is your employer, right? Now, us casual fans, we watch the game, cool. We don't really get into the business aspect of it from the onset. We watch it for recreation. But for somebody who's playing for one of these teams, you are an employee. You're just a high-paid employee, which is to say that in any company or corporation, you have to adopt a certain identity if you're going to be successful within this company, right? Yeah, you play basketball, but you're an employee. Yeah, you can dunk, and yeah, you can shoot the three-point. Yeah, you can steal. Yeah, you can run up and down the court and have fun and talk smack and laugh and joke and act silly and get paid a lot of money for it, but you are at work, right? And some companies and corporations have a code of conduct established while you're at work and while you're off work. Many of my CDL drivers know this to be true as well, right? You know that even though you may be off work because you hold a CDL or a commercial driver's license, even though you're off work, you're never really off work. You can still lose your license or get into a compromising position off the clock that can affect you on the clock. And this is what we want our young brother to understand this as well. He and many other basketball players, because this lesson is not just about Ja, right? Ja's probably one of the biggest stars in the NBA in the world, for that matter of fact. So we just using Ja as a segue and a gateway into this whole perspective of what our young brothers and sisters need to do who making a lot of money, who are in these leagues, you are in the public eye, you are in the entertainment industry, and you don't have somebody really wrapping their arms around you, pouring into your mentality, pouring into your day-to-day activities, showing you how to lace your shoes up and lacing you with the game the right way so that you don't continue to make certain mistakes that can cost you not only a lot of money, but cost you your reputation, cost you your future in the business of entertainment, and ultimately cost you more opportunity that you are well in position to receive and more accomplishments that you are well in position to achieve and acquire. But if you don't make the right decisions and maintain your momentum while you have it, you can lose it all. And we don't want to see that. The identity reset, the first reset button. Remember, even though you're playing basketball, you're at work. Even though you off work, because you're a public figure and because you're a high profile figure or public celebrity, you have to monitor and maintain your image. And it's not that you put no airs for people. No, it's that you being more conscious and more situationally aware. That's all, right? Because all of us don't get a second chance to make certain mistakes, right? And we don't want these mistakes to compound and accelerate your demise when you have an opportunity to now grab a hold of your decision making, grab a hold of some of the ways that you spend in your free time and the perspective that you have allowed to transition into your daily activity and change it, right? The identity reset. Remember that even though you're an international superstar, you're a basketball player, you are an employee and you work for a company, and the company has a code of conduct. And in maintaining and managing your career, you have to be mindful of that code of conduct so you don't end up with a violation or an infraction. The second thing on our list today, right, we call it the circle reset, your environment. And you guys have heard me say this many times over, right? Many times over. Your environment is the single biggest contributing factor to your success, right? You and me are the single biggest determining factor to our success. So nobody can concrete put a period at the end of whether you will or won't be successful except you. Nobody could do that. But the biggest contributing factor is the environment. Why? Because the environment has tools and resources, people, places, and things at your disposal that can contribute to your success or to you being unsuccessful. Your circle reset, your environment reset, the people that you keeping around you could be producing certain acceptances in your ability to set standard for yourself. You don't want that, right? You want to look around at the people that you got around you and you want to see them having already established a standard for themselves that you can emulate and that you can admire as well. You don't only want people around you that do things because you do things. Hello, right? You don't want people around you that only move when you move, right? Because you're not perfect, nor am I, nor is anyone. So you have to have other people around you who are leaders in their own right and who have proven consistent in making good decisions. Can I get a witness? right? The circle reset, your environment reset. Those people that you develop a level of comfort with, you have to be able to look at these people and say, I admire her, I admire him, I respect her, I respect him for whatever reason, right? It could be that this brother keep his car clean. It could be that this sister takes her mother out every Friday. It could be that this brother, he goes to Bible study every Tuesday night. It could be that this sister volunteers down at the homeless shelter every Tuesday. Whatever these reasons are, you want to have people in your circle that do things that you admire, and the reason they doing these things don't have nothing with you admiring them. Hello. You understand? They're not doing these things to impress you so that you can admire them. They're doing these things because that's where their standards are. And now the way that they set standard has allowed you to admire them enough to raise your standard. The circle reset, number 2. Boom. Now we jumping into number 3. All right, talking to my nephew. Tell somebody, tag John Morant, let John Morant know Uncle Jay came past the house today to talk to him and to lace him with some game so that while you're making this $40 million base salary every year, right, and you got more free time on your hands in a little bit, and you got more options in a little bit, you can remember to play this video back and say, I understand better how to handle myself like a young man in private and in public, right? Because you're in the public eye more often than not. Right? But one thing about public and private is the more you do things in private that are or are not becoming of who you want to be, the more or the closer they get to those things being made public. See, this is why you don't want to be two-faced and you don't want to live a double life, because eventually your lives are going to spill over into each other. But if you live in one life, it don't matter if what you're doing in private spills over into the public because you ain't ashamed of it. Anyway, the status reset, family. Okay, what is the status reset? A walking come up $40 million. You have to understand that the status you hold, you need to reset your perspective on the status that you got. Hello, can I get a witness? You ever seen somebody that has something of value, but they don't treat it valuable? Huh? You ever seen that? This is insane. You ever seen somebody that has something of value, but they don't treat it valuable? They don't treat it valuable because they don't have the right status attached to the thing that they have. Hello. It's just like freedom. You don't understand how valuable freedom is until you ain't got it. So then you go out and do something to crash out and get your freedom snatched away from you. And now you're mad and now you want to claw it back. The status reset. You didn't put the right status and standards on the freedom, so you didn't preserve it and protect it the right way. This is what we're talking about. John Morant is a walking come up for somebody who ain't got nothing. Right? They would see this young man a mile away and break their neck, probably run the light, step over some people, bump into some people just to get in the young man's presence to try to get his attention, whether it be for good or bad, right? I done seen that. I done seen people do weird things for money, and I done seen people do weird things for status, right? And when you have somebody who's worth in upwards of $40 million annually base salary, other people trying to get in your vicinity and get in your field of vision, it may take you aback and or it may aggravate you or agitate you the wrong way. And they do these things to incite some type of negative connection or interaction with you to create a story and to create an inlet into your world to cause destruction. How many people remember that song, Self-Destruction? MC Light was on there. Who else was on there? Self-Destruction. You had it for, right? These people have no other desire but to cause self-destruction in your life. And you got to be aware of these types of things. The status reset. You have to now place the right status on the position that you have. Don't just look at yourself like, oh yeah, man, I play ball, I hoop. Nah, you got to look at yourself like you one of the most influential people on the map. Why? Because the NBA has a few 100 million people who watch it. And these people know who you are. And the people who know you who you are, those 100 million on face level, if those people get to talking about you to their social circle, now you're talking about your influence and your notoriety being multiplied for better or for worse, whether you like that or not. Right? So don't be one of these people who have something valuable, but you don't treat it with value. No, you treat your career with value because it's valuable, and you treat your reputation and you yourself with value because you're valuable. The status reset. Boom. Nephew, now we're rolling over to number 4, the purpose reset. Basketball player is a profession, not a mission. right? Y'all heard me say this many times. Every man is supposed to have a mission, okay? Every man is supposed to have a mission. You being a basketball player is not your mission. You being a basketball player is your profession. Hello, let me say it again. You being a basketball player ain't your mission. You being a basketball player is your profession. But since you're a good basketball player, now you use the platform of being a basketball player to accelerate and campaign for your mission. Don't forget that. And when you adopt this perspective, now you're going to begin to treat your basketball career with value because it's valuable to your mission. Huh? See, I know you don't have nobody telling you this stuff, young man. Don't worry about it. Luckily for you, your Uncle Jay came past the house today to holler at you and put you up on some game, right? The other day I seen an article, they said, man, if John Morant don't get it together, he going to be out the league. Right? Now, I don't know if it's that extreme, right? But small things become big over time when you don't resolve them. Now, I don't know why these people said that, right? Maybe they see something I don't. Things can happen really quickly if you're not paying attention, both good and bad. You ever seen somebody end up on top overnight and then they crash overnight too? Things can happen, man. If you're not paying attention, that's just how this world works. While you have the whole world in your hand and all of these options at your feet, you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself and that you're preserving the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity. The purpose reset. What is your purpose as a man? Now, I believe John maybe in the 20s, 26, 27. I'm not sure. I know he ain't 30 yet, right? And family, correct me if I'm wrong. If John Morant 30, drop it down there in the chat, let me know. But nonetheless, we know that the young man is fairly young, right? And he's already achieved a degree of financial stability, which is cool. If you don't have a purpose for the income is only going to cause you to overindulge in things that's going to destroy you. And this is not what we want, right? This is not what we want. What we want you to do is to adopt the purpose while you're in position. Hello, we want you to adopt your purpose while you're in position, so now you'll have a better understanding how to use the income that's coming into you because you are in a valuable position as well with having a high-paying job. Don't waste your time and don't waste your opportunities associating with those people who not contributing to your purpose. And remember, a basketball player is a profession, not a purpose. A basketball player is a profession, not a mission. Every man should have a purpose, and your purpose should be to fulfill your mission. If you don't know what your mission is, that's your homework for the night, champ. Sit with yourself, write it down. Sit with yourself, turn everything off. Pray. Ask the Lord to open up your eyes, your third eye, especially your mind and your heart, and allow him to correlate all of these thoughts and experiences into instructions that you can now adopt and execute on a daily basis and allow those things to be written on your mind and your heart as your mission. And now when you get up and go out here every day on the basketball court, in the Memphis Grizzlies organization, in the community, you will have a better understanding of what to do and what not to do based on if it's associated with you achieving your purpose. All right, the fifth thing on our list for today, champ, the lifestyle reset. And look, somebody tagged John Morant. Shout out to John Morant. He's doing a great job, nephew. All we doing is getting in front of some of these potential pitfalls that you can make if you don't take your time. If you don't look at your career like something of value and treat it valuable and treat it like it's valuable. If you don't start looking at your basketball career like a profession and you working for a high-paying company and you being a high-paid employee and knowing that you're bigger than just being a high-paid employee and working for a company and understanding that the position that you're in is to now procure resources and income so that you can forward your mission that's attached to your relationship with the creator. See, ain't nobody gonna tell it to you like this. You need to hear this though. The lifestyle reset, chat. What is the lifestyle reset? The lifestyle reset is you understanding that discipline must outweigh boredom. Discipline must outweigh boredom. How does discipline outweigh boredom? Now, the way that you convert boredom into discipline is you must first have your mission and your purpose intact, right? Because you got more money than the average person and you got more resources. You don't have to go out and look for no other people to do things for you or to bring information to you. For one, we all got this magic wand in our hand. For two, you got people who know how to use the technology and got more connections than you ever could dream of. So whatever you decide you want to do that's attached to your purpose and your mission, people will bring all of the tools and the resources straight to you so that you can get to work. See, that's going to alleviate the boredom because now you're exercising your discipline to secure and bring resources and opportunities to you so that you can be working in the right way. Don't waste your time, right? And don't waste your opportunity and don't waste your money. If you don't know what to do with the money, don't do nothing with it, right? If you don't know what to do, don't do nothing with it. And if you got to do something with it, you buy real estate. Right, because real estate is something physical and it's tangible that you can always sell. And if you don't want to sell it, somebody always will need a place to stay. But don't waste your time and don't waste your money. The lifestyle reset. Discipline should outweigh boredom. We've all been there not knowing what to do. Right? And understand this. The shelf life of an athlete is much shorter than the shelf life of an entrepreneur or businessman. You should be looking at entrepreneurship and you should be looking at being a businessman while you're currently in the league. I don't know what that look like for you. I don't know if you want to sell hats, jerseys. I don't know if you want to sell hot dogs, icy cups. I don't know if you want to sell Italian icy tater chip, hot sausage. I don't know if you want to sell pickle egg, sunflower seed. I don't know what you want to sell, man. Right? You might want to sell ringtone, download. I don't know, but whatever it is, you got to think of an outlet for you to use that money and allow that money not to use you. All right, champ. So look, that's our episode for today. Your One Reset Away podcast. This has been a John Morant episode. Peace and love. We want to make sure everybody, hold on, y'all. Let me get this for you right there. Boom. We got to tell you about the 21-day identity reset. Scan that QR code. Reset your default identity in 21 days or less. If you're struggling with identity issues, which most people are, you want to take this 21-day identity reset. You get your work style identity assessment that shows you exactly who you are on paper. It shows your characteristics, your strengths, and the areas that you got to work on. And then you have a clear-cut framework as to how to begin to make yourself a better person. Scan that QR code up on the top right-hand corner as well. Take that membership, Reset Academy. We doing open enrollment right now so that you can come on in and see one of our 38 or 40 reset systems by now.